You sounded unusually very worried before this game and said that this could be a crucial point in ALBA's season, and this would be a strong test for the professionalism of your players, how they can cope with the stressful journey from Italy and the loss in Braunschweig. Are you relieved now that they somehow passed this test and it wasn't a breaking point in the season?
Am I relieved? No, I'm satisfied. It was really a breaking point. If we have not stepped up to the level, if we did not raise up to the occasion, that would mean that we are allowing some aspects to get us out of our way. We worked very hard to get to the point that last Tuesday we win Caserta on the road. It's not an easy guest game. So we win it, and from the, let's say, a strong mood and a strong, let's say, rise in the season, we end up 2 days on the trip, which take away sharpness from us, which put us in position that we really did not perform on the right level in Braunschweig. So the next game that comes at home is the game in which we must win in order to qualify. It's a tough game. Any game that's something like has some weight like this is a tough game. So to be relieved, I'm not relieved. We are a team that must win at home, but under this kind of let's say under this kind of condition and under coming from these trips and games, I think it was important. I stressed the point, the team reacted, we won the game. Now you saw the game and you tell me if I should be relieved. Should I be relieved? Okay, that kind of relief I will take. But we had problems, right? Yeah. They increased the pressure. There was a little bit of grabbing. There was allowed a little bit of wrestling, and we lost. Let's say, we wanted the opponent to give up, and they didn't. Shame on them.
Congratulations first. Was this kind of test you just mentioned the same like your last year's team had to pass when returning after the Euro Cup final by bus?
It's similar. It's similar. We came from this. We came from this west coast of Spain here, and then we had to go to Göttingen. I thought we played a really strong game, but we couldn't. We allowed Göttingen to find the way to win. This year we had the same problems, but my worries were that we didn't grip this game. This Braunschweig. I don't want to dwell on it. It happens. To be honest, I understand this is a physical condition. It's a physical condition. I asked my players to try mentally to get themselves into a position to override this. For reasons we couldn't. Also, the home team was very inspired and motivated, raised up maybe. So for me, it was important that we tight it around. And we did. This was a good game and a good victory. The tests, there are a series of tests. Serious. It's never to be tested in a way that you know until the final moment.
Different way to approach championship games and Euro Cup games. I mean, one thing is the dark bread, and international playing is like a celebration, isn't it?
Look, you don't get to the point of the end of the season without jumping over these points. This is not trivial games. It's not like fashion games, the Euro Cup. Out of Germany, it is a very respected and very, let's say, measured. For example, if you talk to Spain, they're not going to measure what the teams did in BBL. Euro Cup is a higher level than BBL. And the appearing in the important games in Euro Cup, achieving the finals, or let's say getting strong games in EuroLeague and going to 16 represents a lot in the basketball world. Now, if we look the island of BBL, maybe it's more important to win it at the end. But, you know, I'm daring to say that basketball is significantly played outside of BBL as well. And it's very well respected, and this club and this city, I think, wants to have its own piece and never giving up the right to be a champion of BBL. So I don't think that a club like ALBA can say, look, let's just walk through these first 6 games. Let's, for example, see what happens. Maybe even we lose so we can be more ready to the end of the season. I think it's not on the level of how ALBA is conceptually built. And I think that what ALBA is doing in Europe, when it does it well, like last 2 years, previous 2 years, I think it does a great thing. Now, coming back to BBL, that has to be, let's say, scheduled up, and it has to be aware that at some point ALBA needs to find a way to win it as well, by going both ways.
Luka, I know you're a very honorable man, saying you in the last 2 games, even though you're through already, you want to represent city, club, German league, and so on. Still, you're a coach, and I know that coaches always want to try something new, want to have take the chances for experiments. Are those 2 games a chance for experiments, to try something out which you always wanted to try but never dared to because the games were too important, and now maybe they're not so important anymore because you're through already?
That's, I think, an excellent reflection. I realized that, first of all, by BBL being so long and competitive, with the first 9 foreigners in the league, now cutting it out to 7, where every team has capacity to win anyone. Losing games in BBL is okay for teams who don't have to reach something, or better words, it's okay, let's try to make it in playoffs. Are we number 5 or number 2? It doesn't matter. We will always have fun with our fans and so on. For the team like ALBA, ALBA needs to be on the top. So, losing a game in Ulm and a game in Braunschweig, we are already behind a team that is playing strong, such as Bamberg this year. Doesn't have a loss. And we are also close to the teams such as Frankfurt, who could have taken us in Berlin and risen over. And experimenting, and without experimenting. Let's say, with taking chances, any team can very, very easily come into a fight for being in the playoffs. So, for me, I realized that ALBA is running a series of different competitions, like this Euro Cup. Last year, we had 22 games in Europe. 22. But this was not a league of 22 games. This was, we had to fight this to go next. We have to fight this to go next. So that intensity of these 6 or 7 mini competitions is quite different than if you know that you have a league of 22 and everybody plays with everybody. It's not the case. We had first to play Le Mans qualifications, do or die. We breathed out, we went to Marussi, do or die. We breathed out, we went into a Euro Cup group. 6 games, we were first, do or die. Next 6 games. It kept, this is like 7, 8 competitions. It's not 22 games and then you play Valencia in the final. It's all the time intensity up. And in the meantime, you come down to Braunschweig or Ulm, and it's not like a friendly atmosphere. Let's help Alba on their way. No, people are motivated. They play their best games. And this kind of competition, Alba is running. That's why not many people can withstand this. So, while the schedule is like this, and while the way of competing is like this, it's very difficult to be, you know, to be, how can I say, flashy and let's try this, let's try that. Every little game is an important point from the start of the season until the end of the season. It can represent a new crucial point. And they build into one season, which builds into careers of players and which builds into a cycles of a club. So it's not something that is, at least not by me, taken lightly.
Could you comment on the development of your player Itbihi? He started like stepping in at the end of the queue, and now he's playing like 15 minutes and scoring 10 or 12 points.
First of all, the way we play, it is very important that our big men are very aggressive, that they are agile, and that they move very fast in setting screens and rolling down. We're talking about the main aspects of the game that we run and the main aspects of the defense that we play. It's very difficult for the game that we run that, for example, we have a player like the opponent player Williams, who is not mobile. We are not taking care that the big man is close to the basket. We are very aggressive with the big man. So the necessity is that we have not 2, but 3 big men. And it's not easy for the coach to rotate 3 men, and not easy for the players to, let's say, go through one game that they play 10 minutes and the other one 20 and then maybe 5 minutes on the next. We have 3 big men. If you line them up by the size, it would be Femerling, Yasin, and Derek. And so far, they are giving an excellent example in their appearance and in their tolerance and in their involvement in how we're doing. To put it concretely on Yasin, he has come a little bit late from the national team, and he's on his way. He has certain qualities that are really helping us. He has certain weaknesses that he needs to work. We are in the middle of our trips and games, and he's doing, I think good. At the end, we always have to step up during the season in order to improve ourselves. So does he. But he's obviously, like you pointed out, a significant part of our game, whether he played 12 minutes or 8 or 15.